Let's talk cards. He's Christian Rauh. I am Zach Blackerby. Let's Talk Cards is powered by Auburn Cards. Follow them on all social channels. Christian, over the last, 2 weeks or so, Donruss 2025 has been rolled out for football. Every time Panini drops something, it's like, cool, this is their last time doing this specific product with the NFL licensing or NBA licensing. And to me, the whole the whole Donruss products right now, I don't think it's good. I think Donruss as a whole is extremely overrated. I felt this way a little bit last year, but I think all of the rookie quarterbacks in last year's class kind of made every product better. But just watching breaks and then participating in some breaks for 2025 Donruss, it just doesn't feel like anybody ever wins in a break. And I just don't think when your whole product is built around the case hit, I think that's a bad design, if I'm being entirely honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. When you're looking at these breaks, when you're on Whatnot, when you're on eBay, when you're on these social media groups on Facebook, you name it, the only thing I keep hearing is, does it have a downtown? Is it just a downtown? That's the only thing they're focused on. We don't even know how many downtowns are in this set or what team has what. I mean,
Crazy.
that's the crazy part, right? Because there's no checklist. Now, I have gone online and I've seen that, if you go to some Reddit feeds, that some fans or collectors are creating their own checklist.
Yeah,
That's
everybody's
like
got
the
these like
best you can
partial
get.
checklists, and we're all trying to combine them. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that there's like four New York Giants in the downtowns, but how many Buffalo Bills are there? How many New England Patriots do you have? You have Jalen Milroe for the Seahawks, but is JSN there? Like some of the names for these downtowns just aren't the names you'd expect it to be, right? You have Tyler Warren for the Colts, but where else are you going, right? Like Tyler Shuck is your Saints card. It's really interesting that what they have for the downtown pick. I'm with you, and I think you're right. I think the product is a little bit sketchy because it's going to be a super crazy dip when they finally realize, maybe that when a checklist finally comes out or when it finally gets to the end of it. But right now, there's so much hype for these downtowns. And for the record, I think there's a couple other decent cards in the hit as well. Like there's a couple good rookie autos in there. There's a couple other good pieces of product, but we just don't know exactly what we're seeing. We have to rely on what people have pulled and then collected and piled within the community, which sometimes it's good, but overall, it's been a really tough time to try to decide if it's a product worth continuing to keep, because I don't know if that value is going to hold. And I got to throw you one question here as well, too.
Yes.
When you are looking at this downtown Russes, when you're looking at, the Don Russ's downtowns, when you're looking at this entire product, how do you feel about it when there is no checklist whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason you buy Donruss is you hope you hit on an auto, which we're not entirely sure who all is signing in it. We have guesses, and you hope that you're pulling the case hit. You hope you're pulling a downtown. But as far as like the checklist or whatever, like I don't need the parallels or anything like that. But as far as who signs for what team, especially from like the breaking conversation, because everybody wants to know their odds. And what's a little weird is like how some of these breakers that are doing like the PYT where you're able to pick your own team. And like, I'm like, how are you pricing all of this? Like, are you
Right.
just guessing? Like, this feels high. Like, oh, this team has only one confirmed downtown, and they're like, way more than some others. I don't know. Some of it's just it doesn't help anyone. Transparency helps everyone. Lack of transparency hurts everyone. And that's exactly what Panini has done. I'm just blown away that this happened with Optic last year, and then PSA kind of put out a statement that was like, we're not going to grade your cards. I think it was Optic. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But it was a big set that Panini put out. I'm pretty sure it was Optic. And everybody sent their cards to PSA, and PSA is like, we're not grading these until they give us a checklist. Kind of curious if this happens with this Donruss product as well.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a benefit for Donruss for not dropping this checklist? Is it because of PSA? Do they not want their cards created? I can't see why you'd want that to actually happen. Like, if you're
Right.
a part of the hobby, why would that be the case? I don't think that's it, but it
I
just
think it's
really makes
pure
you wonder.
laziness by Panini. I think they know that the licensing is running out, and they need to do everything in their power to drop as many products as possible. And they may once again though, like I don't know how you don't have a checklist made, but
Yeah,
whatever.
the Giants have 4. That's the thing that I've seen so far. But, like, do they have 5? But then that there's not 4 other downtowns for every other team. Like, we're not getting 4 for the Bengals, right? I've heard
Giants
1 for
having
Joe
so many
Burrow.
is odd. That's pretty
It's
strange.
and then you talk about the pricing of that. So, like, if you're in these pick your team breaks,
Yeah.
do you price the Giants at the highest? That's what we've seen so far. But I've also seen teams like the Jaguars, because we've seen BTJ and Travis Hunter have a downtown be priced just as high. But you only have 2 chances of a downtown compared to those 4. And are you feeling good about those downtown prices as well, or those names when Cam Scattaboo, Abdul Carter, OBJ, and Jackson Dart is your Giants cards? Like, do you feel good like that compared to having BTJ or Travis Hunter as your others? It's a weird status and a weird time to be in for this Donruss downtowns, and it's gonna dip so hard eventually. Like, they are priced so high. People are loving these cards, and if you look at the prices on eBay for resale, if you look at the prices on
Yeah.
Facebook groups or whatever, it is super high to get one of these cards.
Yeah. I bought the Patriots in a break, and you want to say like I sound bitter or sour or whatever because I didn't hit. That's not even true. Like I was chasing Travion Henderson. I got one of his numbered autos. Like that's exactly what I wanted. But when I bought it, they're like, "Hey, that's awesome. You got the Pats." I think I think the only downtown is Travion Henderson. It's like we should know. We
Yeah.
should know that. Like Drake May doesn't get a downtown. Like what? What's going on there?
And he should. Could you imagine if
So
you
strange.
had a checklist and you could see that some of these big time, especially second year quarterbacks, right, have a downtown? It would make you want to get that collection even more.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree
so
with you.
strange. It's so strange, but whatever. Whatever. All right, Christian, we're rolling out a new segment today.
Yeah, and speaking of second year quarterbacks, I think some of them are in there as well. We're calling this Cash or Crash. It's going to be a new segment we drop on every Monday. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn highlight reels into buy or sell deals. So, Zach, I'm going to throw it right at you first. We're going to do Cash or Crash. Who is your top player this weekend's performance that you're cashing in on this market, or crashing and thinking it's falling through?
Yeah, I'll start with my crash. It is Michael Penix, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. They did not look good this weekend. And part of this is just the context of if you are a Michael Penix card holder right now, odds are the deal you got was not ideal. And I kind of expect his market to fall in the short term because the only way he's going to get back to where it was is if he's winning playoff games because all of these rookie QBs were so inflated. So I'm going Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback for the Falcons, is my crash. And for my cash, Christian, I'm going to go Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback for LSU. Yes, not NFL, but his odds of being the first overall pick continue to hold steady. He's tied with Drew Aller of Penn State for the best odds to be the number 1 pick in this upcoming draft, which is going to have months and months of hype when people aren't playing, which I think is valuable. And also, one of the guys he was competing with for that spot is Cade Klubnik of Clemson. I don't think any NFL team is dying to have him with the first overall pick based on how the season has started for the Clemson Tigers. So my cash will be Garrett Nussmeier of LSU.
That's insane. When you're talking about, I like that you brought a college player into this. Look at that. Our first time you bring this segment, you're already changing up the rules, and I love it.
Yes.
There's no rules. That's the best part about it. But
No rules.
Nussmeier getting a couple good yards. What he threw for, I think, 270 and 3 touchdowns against his opponent. LSU's trying to stay up and being involved. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I like where Nussmeier is. There's a battle between who's going to be the number 1 overall pick, or at least the number 1 quarterback taken, and his name's in there, but it's not a sure thing. So seeing his hype still there, I think there's a lot of excitement. Kind of reminds me Speaking of LSU quarterbacks, kind of reminds me of the Tua Burrow college year, building up who will be the top quarterback coming into the draft in April. We're already getting that hype this college football season. And then Penix, hey, look, if you get shut out by the Carolina Panthers, your value's fallen, period. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's Cam Newton's not coming back through the door. It's not the same Carolina Panthers we once knew, Zach.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Our guy Elijah bought speaking of downtowns of Michael Penix, he bought a PSA 10 of downtown of Penix at a show this weekend, and he got a nice lot of stuff, but he's like, the timing on that's not great. The timing
probably not
great. His stuff's about to plummet, I think.
I wonder if he would have made a different choice if that checklist was there. I don't know. We'll see.
Last year's.
Oh, last year. You're right. Excuse me. I'm going to go with, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do my cash in first. And my cash in is Justin Herbert. What he has shown in the last couple of weeks, and maybe it's just Harbaugh getting comfortable. I don't know what it is, or maybe there's finally some good weapons around him. But I think we're starting to get to the thought process where not only just the Charger fans, but the NFL fans as a whole need to start seeing Justin Herbert as an elite quarterback. And what he did in that win against the Denver Broncos on comeback win, 23-20, thrown for 300 yards, got a touchdown. He's proving that he belongs in that top tier with Lamar, with Josh Allen. I'm not afraid to say it. Justin Herbert is an elite quarterback. So he is my cash in for this week in this initial segment of here. And speaking of another younger quarterback here, my crash, and this might be coming down, they might have to do a 30 on 30 for this. CJ Stroud is falling fast, Zach. It has been rough, and the market used to love CJ Stroud. And I am going to tell you what, I bet in the next 5 days or so, maybe when we meet again by Wednesday, and we actually look at some of these numbers, the dip is going to be wild. What he has shown over these last couple of weeks, and really last season as well, when I thought it was offensive line issues. No, I think it's CJ Stroud, and his downfall needs to be studied.
Yeah, I bought Stroud at like the height of the market, and so that's a bummer. But we saw his market come up for air a little bit when he won a playoff game a year ago. But yeah, his stuff has been down. There's a video that went somewhat viral. I think it was after his week one, whoever they played in week one, where he like warmed up with a basketball. Apparently he always does that, but I don't know. It's a weird look. Weird look.
Yeah,
I'm very pro CJ Stroud, but I thought that was strange. And then Herbert. Yeah, I mean, I think the hobby has wanted Herbert to take this step for a while. His cards have been desired and pretty liquid as long as it's like the right product. But he hasn't really taken that step yet. Like at least Trevor Lawrence had that playoff win. Herbert doesn't have a playoff win, I don't think. Correct? No playoff win for Herbert.
I think so. Wasn't he in that crazy game a couple years ago against the Jaguars? Wasn't that the Chargers? I can't remember now.
Possibly. But yeah, I think his market is primed and ready to explode. I think there's probably a lot of people that have been holding on to some of his stuff, waiting for him to do that. But I mean, you're starting to see, I'm listening to, national analysts talk about him being an MVP candidate. I mean, that would be incredible for Justin Herbert's market. So yeah, I think you nailed both of yours.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, they did lose to Jacksonville in 2022 playoffs. They lost 31-30. That was that wild comeback. And then last year, that game that you talk about, that playoff win, was against the Chargers for CJ Stroud. So funny that actually brought in my cash or crash. He beat Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert's the one that's coming up on top here. He's the one cashing in. Stroud is crashing for sure. Hey, before I throw it back at you, I got this wild thing I saw on the internet, and I know we're talking football here, but I have to throw this at you because it's insane. It's a basketball thing. Fanatics Collect dropped this on social media, and it's about Jalen Brunson. Did you see this? I think I sent this to you, but a Jalen Brunson rookie card sold for $300 in 2019. And of course, fast forward to 5 years in 2024, it sold for $96,600, making it the most expensive Brunson card in existence. It is a 2018 Panini Prism Jalen Brunson on the Nebula, and it's only a PSA 9, and it's selling for just under $100,000 last year. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Nebulas, I think, are one of one with Prism. So some argue the grade matters less with one of ones because it's like you're not going to find a better one, right? Yeah, we saw Brunson's market take a step forward last year. 300 to just under $100,000 is pretty insane. It's pretty.
Yeah.
That's a pretty insane jump.
That's wild jump. I mean, imagine
I
being
also
that guy
wonder,
that
why
sold
are
it
they
for
selling that?
$300.
Why are they selling that now? Why wouldn't you wait to sell that? But I mean, if you're going to make $99,000 or whatever in profit, like, I guess who cares, you know?
That's my thought process too. Like, imagine getting this and reading this tweet, knowing you're the guy that sold it for $300 5 years ago.
Yeah, I've got
Insane.
a few selling regrets for sure, but none that bad.
Oh,
None
yeah.
that bad for sure.
There's one release coming out today on September 22nd. It's the Topps Holiday Baseball that drops today. Seems a little early. It's dropping at 11 a.m. Central. Probably when you're listening to this, it's already been dropped. You feel like you want to touch that at all? That hobby? Yeah.
Nope. Very dusty, very bulky. No, thank you. No, thank
Topps
you.
baseball seems so hit or miss these days.
The high end's crazy. It's just so printed. They just print it into oblivion. And like, I used to love Topps baseball. I can't, like, just the flagship product. I can't do it anymore.
I almost the look is fun because it's Christmas, but it's almost getting to the point to where the value by it is just as good as those score treat things for Panini when it comes to Halloween cards. It's like, yeah,
Probably
don't touch them.
probably a good comparison there. Yeah. Yeah. Some people like the like I said, if the jersey patches, like the relics, they'll have like the sweater, Christmas sweaters in there. Those are fun or whatever, but once March rolls around and you want to move these things, I don't know. I think it's like, oh, well, it's not Christmas. So
Yeah, no, I don't think it's worth touching a tin or a can or a box or whatever they're coming in. But maybe if you find a single that you want, maybe that's one that you go for. But yeah, I'm not touching the tin as well.
There was a Ronald Acuna auto out of a Christmas product. It was on eBay for a long time. I was just watching it, and I was doing an offer every few months on it.
The Topps marketing promo that I saw looked like they were really pushing Nick Kurtz. So I'm guessing there's going to be some Nick Kurtz stuff. He seems to be like the guy in the hobby right now that they're really pushing for Topps when it comes to younger players. So maybe that'll be an interesting card. But
it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, his Bowman stuff's been crazy. Another thing with the tins is, like, they don't grade well because they're like jammed in that tin. So like, if you do hit a nuke, it's probably not going to gem either, or it has a lower percentage of gemming. So that's another thing too. So I mean, this is truly for like collectors / like kids, I feel like. So take that for what it's worth. You can hit a nuke for sure. One of my biggest pulls ever was out of product like this, like out of the Major League 2 years ago. But yeah, like the nukes are in there, but few and far between. It's just printed so much, Christian. So
yeah,
there we go.
Good stocking stuffer for your kids, I guess. Maybe.
Sure. I'd open it on Christmas, 100%. Why not? Yeah. Why not? Ripping on Christmas as a kid is great. Ripping on Christmas as an adult is great. So yeah. All right. I think that does it. Where can people check out everything you've got going on, Christian?
Twitter X, Christian S. Rauh is the best spot you can find me. Speaking of college football to NFL, in their cash or crashes, I'm always talking college athletics and NFL. You can name it. We're talking hype all the way through. And of course, sports cards. We're getting more into it because these new releases are exciting. Maybe if there's a checklist, I'll make sure I repost that for sure.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Follow me on all socials at Blackerby, and then follow our card account, auburn.cards on Instagram is the main place for us there. We'll see you next time. Let's talk cards.